Hello. Welcome back to Echoes in the Static ASMR. In today's video, I wanted to thank everybody for over 100 subscribers. Channel has been blowing up in a good way, which has been awesome. So thank you all so much for watching the ASMR videos I've made. In this video, I'm going to be doing more of a soft-spoken Q&A slash kind of talking about the channel and what I want to do with the channel. I'm not going to be whispering because I've been told that when I talk like this or my normal voice, I've been told by many people that it helps them sleep. People I've met in person, if I talk to them over the phone for a long time, my voice eventually puts them to sleep. So, yeah. So, I wanted to talk about, first things first, thank you so much for over 100 subscribers. I have been watching ASMR for years. I think the first person I watched ASMR was probably massage ASMR, like back in like 2014. There's been a lot of people that I've been very inspired by. And massage ASMR is one of them. I like Raffy Taffy. I love Made in France ASMR. That's a big inspiration for this channel, being a filmmaker myself. But I'm still a little sick, still recovering, but trying to get better as soon as possible. So I've been making a lot of like what I would call classic ASMR videos, which are the finger fluttering, grabbing a mic, crinkling, tapping, whisper, classic ASMR. And those are really easy for me to make. They're really easy for me to produce. There's another series I have on this channel, which is, I like to call time-lapse ASMR. Basically, I film like a nice scenic view, and throughout the video it changes, whether it be a sunrise, a snowstorm, etc. And then I fill in my own sound effects in post-production. Lastly, there is a series that I like to call cinematic ASMR, which is a web series of a narrative with ASMR being the central Foley sound effects throughout the whole video. Episode 1 was the first video I released back in January, I think. End of January. And I have not created episode 2 yet. And the main reason why I haven't made episode 2 yet is because it's two reasons. One is I recently got a full-time job, but it is a full-time filmmaking job, so I'm still doing video for a living. I'm a big advocate for, if you can, to follow your dreams. I know it sounds corny, but I did a documentary a couple years ago where I interviewed a bunch of freelancers like myself that were fortunate enough to do what they love for a living. And so many people in the world, especially America, work a job that they don't like, and their life is not as fulfilling as it could be. And my parents always wanted me to go into business. But I always wanted to be a filmmaker. I always wanted to make videos. I always wanted to just do something with video. It's been my passion since I've been 14. I'm 32 now. I've been freelancing since 2018. and I recently just got like a really, 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 really good filmmaking job. After I film this video, I'm gonna go work on that job. That job lets me be remote up to 3 times a week, and everyone's super friendly and awesome. And I'm gonna have a very, very busy week ahead of me, and that's why I'm trying to get over this cold as soon as possible. And then, obviously making ASMR videos on the side is just a hobby. I would love for it to be something more at some point, but for now, we'll slowly grow this channel. And I try to do videos week to week. I missed a Friday before, but I was sick. Anyway, I ramble a lot. Yeah, the cinematic ASMR series. I recently got a really good documentary job, which I love, and it's been taking up so much of my time. But the main reason is because the series echoes in the static about this guy trapped in this pocket dimension, not knowing where he is, who he is. I filmed that during a part of my life, which was only 3 months ago, but I filmed it when I was really going through a hard time. And I wanted to film my mental state. I wanted to document it. And I actually planned on making up to 6 episodes. And the subject matter of what I was acting out was really difficult for me, because it represents a lot of what's going on in my personal life. Obviously, it's dramatized for video, but someone could watch it and not really know what's going on. Obviously, I know everything. I've made it. I know all the Easter eggs. I know what I'm referencing when I do certain things. It was a very difficult video for me to make. And I'm finding that it's becoming very difficult for me to go back to that state of mind. I feel like I've made a lot of progress in the last 3 months, so it feels awkward to go back to that character, because I feel like I'm not really that character anymore. I am, but I'm not. It's confusing. But I've been through a lot in life. I won't go into details. Maybe when we hit 100,000 subscribers, I'll talk about it. But I've had a very interesting life, and I wanted to document my mental trauma and turn it into art. I wanted to just make the best out of something not so great. And I find it really hard for me to go back to that state of mind, which is awkward because that's what my whole channel is about. I wanted to be different in the ASMR space. I wanted to make something that no one's really tackled before. I haven't seen anyone in the ASMR community make like a web series of a narrative that's consistent with each upload. These videos are standalone. That's very common. There's role plays and maybe there are short films, but it's always a standalone video. This would be a episodic narrative. David Lynch was a big inspiration for me. Alan Wake, Twin Peaks. I'd like to finish the series, but I'm trying to do it I have to do it that feels right to me. I have all the equipment, I have everything ready. I just haven't mentally I'm not ready for that yet, but I hope I will be able to get back to that mentally, because the whole point of this channel is to be different. When I did ASMR, or as I'm doing it, I want to be different. I want to be unique. And I love doing normal videos like this. But I also want to do what I started making, which was the cinematic series. I think the time-lapse series is really cool. And there will always be classic videos like this where I'm doing basic ASMR stuff. But I really want to get back to what made me unique. It's just I have to mentally prepare myself for that role. I guess you could say it's a form of method acting, but I'm not even an actor. But my plan for this channel is I want to, I have really good equipment. I think the room that I film in is not really made for ASMR. I have foam kind of scattered throughout the room, but it's still very echoey. There's a lot of background noise. I live in an apartment complex. If I can hear stuff, my mics can hear it like 10 times more. My building makes noises, it moves, it contorts. There's always something happening in the building that I live in. So there's always some type of sound going on, and it makes it difficult for me to record videos. But at some point, I'd like to improve on this sound design. For now, I think this is a good starting point. I've also never done ASMR. It's so different to experience ASMR compared to doing ASMR. It's so different. It's so different. And as someone who is very visual, I do a lot of film work, so I'm more visual than like hearing. ASMR is mostly about sound. And learning sound has been very humbling. These microphones are awesome. I love them. They're so cool. But yeah, everything has been a learning experience. I will say I've been blown away by just how nice everyone's been. There's like one or two weird comments, but most of it, I would say, like 99%, 98% of the comments I get have been overwhelmingly positive. And thank you. Thank you. I know it may not look like it, but I'm going through a lot right now. I'm not trying to be a victim here. There's a lot happening in my life right now. And if I can turn some of my issues that I have in my personal life into an experience for other people to enjoy, to get something out of, that's really what I care about the most. You know, I'm being vague on purpose, but 18 minutes left. I try to make 30-minute videos. I think that's a good length. I think what I'm finding the most difficult is being in front of a camera and then just trying to figure out how to do sounds while having time just go by. I feel like time's going by very slow. And it's not because I'm not enjoying myself. It's just, I don't know. Like, I can play a video game and time will go by so fast. But with ASMR, it's just like, it takes a while for time to go by. But I'm getting used to it. I'm getting more used to being an ASMR artist, and it's been a lot of fun. So what you can expect on this channel going forward is more classic videos, more time-lapse. Those will be kind of sporadically uploaded because I don't want to oversaturate it. And then the cinematic ASMR series that goes in the static, I want to get episode 2 out. Like, I do want to do it. I really want to do it. It's this awkwardness where it's like I have to dive back into this mental state to really sell the video. And I'm kind of scared of going back to that state of mind. But I think I can do it. It's just I have to build up to it. But I want to keep doing stuff like that. I want want this channel to be unique, because there's so many people who do ASMR better than me, and you know, I want to be unique enough where I'm not just like everyone else. I actually wanted to start an ASMR channel a couple years ago, but I couldn't think of an idea that would make me unique. And then I thought of the narrative idea, and then I thought of the time-lapse idea. But now that I haven't done the cinematic idea in like a while, and it's like, okay, well now I'm just doing what everyone else does, and I don't want to do that. Like, I love doing normal videos like this, but I also want to go back to what made me special. I make these videos, these like normal videos, these classic videos, to kind of pad out the rest. So I think I made one already that hasn't gone up as of I'm recording this. So I like to kind of get a couple uploads queued up, and then I can focus on the bigger projects, because the first episode of Echoes in the Static took like forever to make. It took like a month to make. Now that I'm working, there's just a lot happening, but over 100 subscribers is crazy. That's crazy. Crazy awesome. We're going pretty crazy. Like, if I go on YouTube analytics, like I see like every metric in exquisite detail, and it's been overwhelming. It's been really cool. I think I'm excited. I want to keep making videos. I want to keep creating videos. I'll get better at being on screen. I'll probably sit down for a couple videos, because when I stand for a prolonged period of time, my feet like get super achy. So right now my feet are currently on fire, but it's cool. We have 14 minutes of pain left. I don't know what else to say other than thank you so much for watching, or thank you so much for subscribing and watching my videos. A lot of people who watch my channel are not subscribed, so please feel free to subscribe. A little bit about me. I come from a filmmaking background. Everything that I use, I own. I did a short film back in 2020, I think, during COVID. No, 2021. And I rented out a bunch of equipment from a place called Adorama. It's a big camera brand like B&H. B&H is so much better. And they kind of forgot that I rented from them. And I basically almost lost my entire short film in a weekend because they forgot that I rented out equipment for them. And ever since that experience, I have refused to rent. I now just buy what I need. And it's really expensive, for sure, but I don't ever have to worry about missing stuff because I have it. I'll rent. Very rarely will I rent now, but it does happen from time to time, but it's not common. But everything I use, I own, and I'm really proud of that. I actually have a renting service I do on the side through ShareGrid. It's been a nice little passive source of revenue. But I've been into film since probably since 2007. I really just always loved movies. I'm a big gamer. I love video games so much. I feel like they're actually better than movies and shows. I know that might be a hot take. I think they're way better because, not that like one is better over the other, but I've always connected with games a lot more. Because now games are at the point now where it's like an interactive. Well, I mean, I guess they've always been like that, yeah. So I view video games as an interactive form of art. Like when you watch a TV show, when you watch a movie, or you watch someone perform, it's cool to be a part of that. But when you play a game, you get to interact with it. You get to change things within the world, and I find that so much more interesting. I've always looked at games as like a TV show, but more. Like I like that TV shows have a much longer runtime, so you can tell much more of a story. One of my actually, it's not that I don't like movies. It's just I hate how the movies have a very short runtime, and you can't really say a lot. Like I love just absorbing as much as possible. So I've always connected more with shows, but I love gaming. Gaming changed my life. I actually got into film through Halo as a kid, and that's a whole nother story for another day. But um, yeah, I don't know what I was even talking about. I have ADD, which is attention deficit disorder, so I'll ramble and then I'll just totally forget why I was talking about that in the first place. 10 minutes. I have a timer on the side. But I've been in film for a long time, and I did retail for 6 years. And in 2018, I left my job and I started pursuing film, and I started out doing sports videography, and then I did music videos and commercial work for a while. In 2019, I got a commercial gig job, and I did that for I think 3 years. And then in 2022, I started doing weddings. And as of today, I've filmed over 300 weddings. I've lost count. I've done so many. I actually filmed a wedding 2 days ago, as of the recording of this video. Um, and just for a little insider scoop, um, if you want to be a wedding videographer or like a wedding photographer or a DJ or just something within the wedding industry, just be aware that once you start getting paid the rates that you want, every other job sucks. Um, you make so much money as a wedding videographer, as a wedding photographer. You make so much money. It's like disgusting how much money you make. You make travel nurse money. If anyone has ever done nursing or has done travel nursing, you make a lot of money as a travel nurse. And as a wedding videographer, like you make basically the same amount of money if you are successful. I think it's way easier to be a nurse than it is to be a videographer, because nurses are jobs that I don't think will ever go away. Like we always need people to help with like health related issues, and the world could always use more nurses. But videography, I feel like it's becoming more of a luxury. Um, and when you start making videography wedding rates, every other job sucks. Like I can make, like someone could go work a 9 to 5, 40 hours a week and make like 4 to 5 grand for that month. As a wedding videographer, I can make that in one day and still have most of the month open to do whatever I want. So, yeah, being a wedding videographer, it's fun, but it ruins, it basically destroys your tolerance. Every other job will just never ever come close to the money you can make in the wedding industry. It's not even funny. It's kind of disgusting on how much money you can make. And yeah, I'm very this job I recently got. I work for a nonprofit, and I won't talk too much about it, but they help animals, and it's a really cool job. I get to film people talking about animals. I get to film people talking about their life, and it's a job that like makes me feel like what I'm doing really matters, you know. And the people there are awesome, and I'm really lucky that I got it, especially in this economy. So I'm a big advocate for following what you love. I'm a big advocate for if you can try to do what you love for a living. I feel like a lot of people think like a job and work are, or sorry, I think people think like a job and a hobby are two separate things, and most of the time they are. But if you can make your hobby into a living, oh my gosh, your life is just so, I just feel like it's more fun, you know? And I'm very lucky. Like, I basically refuse to be anything but a videographer. I remember a couple years ago, I worked for Adorama. I worked in a warehouse with no Wi-Fi. Like, it was like cut off from the world. And I was essentially scanning film equipment and making sure it worked before we would sell it on the used market. And for like a couple months, like I started experiencing symptoms where like my throat would tighten up, or like my heart would start racing. I'd start getting cold sweats. And I didn't know why. And I realized that at some point I had a panic attack, because before I was freelancing, I was filming commercials, working with music video artists, doing the occasional wedding, and going from that freedom lifestyle to a very 9 to 5-esque schedule. I had a panic attack because I went from like the embodiment of freedom to the embodiment of like not being free, whatever the opposite of that is. I won't say slave work, but I just went from working for how I like to work to working how I don't want to work. And I had a very, very bad reaction to it. And since that job, I have tried my hardest to do videography to some capacity for a living. I just feel like it's what I'm meant to do. You know, I feel like I'm meant to be a videographer. I'm meant to create art. And I've always looked at it as my job is to entertain the people who do the real work, you know, people who do the essential work that keeps the world spinning. My job is to entertain them. And I find a lot of privilege in that. I find a lot of honor in that. It's kind of humbling to be in a position where my goal is to entertain and to help people relax. Like, hopefully my voice is putting you to sleep, and hopefully I haven't peeked at the microphone because I'm talking normally. That'll probably, I'm still sick. But I love being a filmmaker. I love what I do. I love that I have time in my day to do stuff like this. I love ASMR. I love filmmaking. I love art. I love community. And I'm just one person though, so content is not coming out as frequent as I like it to. But if this channel blows up, I have so many ideas. But everyone that has stuck around, that has discovered this channel, we're over 100 subscribers. Like, that's awesome. I think as I'm recording this video, we're at 100 and actually, let me check. Let me check right now. I think we're at 104 subscribers. Let's see what we got. We're at 104 subscribers. So thank you all so much for watching this channel update. I hope it was tingly to some extent. What you can expect coming up on this YouTube channel is more classic videos, like I have been uploading frequently. The occasional time-lapse video, and then every so often we'll get an Echoes in the Static narrative episode. I do need to start working on episode 2. I have been not tackling it. I've been procrastinating on it. I apologize. But I think one video a week is fine. Unless otherwise, I think one video a week is okay for me. It really really makes it easy for me to get content out with how busy I am outside of YouTube. But I hope everyone has enjoyed what I've uploaded, and I hope you all enjoy what's to come. Please let me know what you'd like to see from me. If you have any ideas on like more or less classic videos, the narrative content is way more not scripted. It's much more detail oriented. It's harder to like predict something. The time-lapse one as well. If anyone has any classic ASMR ideas, I'd love to experiment with that. So we got 1 minute left. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope that my hands get a lot more used to doing hand sounds. Hand sounds are probably my favorite, but I realized very quickly that my hands get super taxed. I get tired very fast when I do hand sounds. But we'll have to hopefully just get better at that. So thank you all for over 100 subscribers. I'm really grateful for everyone that's been here. And thank you to anyone else that subscribes. And I hope that you look forward to what's coming up next on Echoes in the Static. Have a great night.